Mac, would you call this an addiction? Where when I'm at a restaurant or ordering food, I am in the habit right now of whatever the spiciest level is, I have to have it.
You're just into BDSM. You like pain. You like torture.
I like
I don't know if I
pain.
would call it an addiction. Also, this is a bit of an Andy moment. I heard you doing okay, but I want you to know I'm a dick. I'm addicted to you. I had to finish the melody there.
Like, I don't even get pleasure out of what I'm eating. I don't even enjoy it half the time, but I need to get that ultimate spice.
Well, you get some sort of pleasure out of it, obviously. Some sort of synapses is fucking popping in there because you like the spice. And I'm the complete opposite. So if I go to a place, I'll get the first step above no spice. So mild or whatever they want to call it. Like a Dave's hot chicken, they're regular. Like I can do a little spice. I like a little tang, a little bit of, hey, how you doing? But anything more than that, it's torture.
I already shared my story on this podcast of me getting Dave's hot chickens the spiciest level possible and then going to throw up in the bathroom at the movie theater while my son watched me. Mac, do you think this is because I'm such an alpha that I need to show my dominance to the people? I'm such an alpha?
How alpha is it that you had to bring your son out of a movie that he probably really wanted to see to have him watch
he didn't
you
want to see
vomit?
Garfield. He didn't like Garfield.
Yeah, he didn't like Garfield because his only memory of it is his father keeled over a fucking public toilet.
One goo, three, yeah! Goo. Jaws 3. Goo. King of Queens. Goo. Meryl Streep. Entertainment.
I'm Goo.
And I'm Mac.
And welcome in to the 2025 CineMAC GUvie Awards.
Well, 2024.
Oh, 2024.
Yeah.
This is when you, so this is like the 6th annual or whatever it is, but it's the 2024 CineMAC GUvie Awards.
This is like when you get into certain things, when you Google 2025 Super Bowl champion, it may have taken place in 2025, but it's for the 2024 season, you know?
Right. So that's what we're doing today.
If you've tuned into the past of this episode, you know there's a lot of terrible, terrible awards we're giving out today. But that is the essence of Mac and Goo, right? We talk about terrible things. We say terrible things. We enjoy things on the whole. We want to enjoy things, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But when we don't like them, we really let you know. When we do like them, we really let you know. And that's the synopsis of today's award show.
And once again, we will list all of these categories, hopefully, in the description of this episode and on the YouTube link. Smash that subscribe button. Give us a like. Follow us on YouTube. Comment down below. And you guys can play along at home. Tell us what you think of this past year in cinema. I will say this. Someone put a side-by-side, and we'll talk more about this later, a side-by-side of the 10 Best Picture nominees from this year and last year. And boy, does last year blow this year out of the water.
I don't remember exactly what was nominated for last year, but I think the last couple of years I've done a good job of trying to see the Best Picture nominees in the month running up to the Academy Awards. I think there's 4 I haven't seen leading up to this one. But we talked about this within the last couple of months. Granted, we've seen Anora in the last few weeks, which gets catapulted towards the top of the 2024 list. But short of that, it's been a relatively weak year at the top for 2024 movies.
And just keep in mind, the Academy Awards can suck farts. They mean nothing. This is the award show that matters. Nothing else means anything.
Yeah, it seems that particularly this year, the award shows are just really, really fucking with. They're gaslighting us, Goo, I think is a good term. And I'm speaking specifically about the American cinematic classic, actually French cinematic classic, Amelia Perez. I talked about that movie briefly on this podcast a couple of times. I watched it maybe 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. Don't get me wrong. The underlying story is great. Great. Or at least the idea of it. The musical aspects and what they ended up doing with that movie, not great. It gets nominated for 13 Academy Awards, like 11 Golden Globes. Someone's fooling us. and they're doing that movie a disservice because it's just going to make people hate it.
Do you think it's Ashton Kutcher?
And it's not even getting crazy good. Like on Metacritic, I think it might have a 60 something or a low 70s. It's in the 70s on both Roddy T scores. So that's just the Academy like trying, because there's a story of a transgender person in there. That's just the Academy like trying to be like, this movie matters.
Shall we get to our awards?
Yeah. We'll pick back up with Amelia Perez soon. Don't worry.
The first award up is the Trailure Failure Award. This is the movie trailer that did the worst job selling us on a movie or deceiving the audience and showed parts of the movie or way too much of the movie.
Yeah, almost every year we do this. I think you misinterpret this category, but
I think you misinterpret this.
Give us the nominees.
The nominees are Argyle, Challengers, It Ends With Us, Better Man, Joker, Fale Adieu, Civil War, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Furiosa.
Yeah, so let's run through. So Argyle you have in here, and I think it should immediately be taken off because that trailer made the movie look good, and we got excited for the movie.
It made the movie look good. It sold us on Henry Cavill and Dua Lipa.
That did its job.
I would say that's a failure.
No,
it raised their expectations way too high.
The trailer did its job.
Challengers looked way sexier than it actually was.
Yeah, so that's a good nominee. Challengers, well, but it sold us though too. Maybe not as much as Argyle, but it sold us.
So It Ends With Us, not necessarily the trailer, but the media tour that Blake Lively went on, selling us that it was a rom-com when in fact it was about domestic abuse. That was a real switcheroo in the theater for me.
Yeah, and obviously all the shit that's come out with fucking Balboni there, whatever his name is, Baldoni.
Baloney.
That hasn't
That's
helped
what
the movie
Ryan Reynolds
whatsoever.
is saying. You're full of it.
So maybe you could throw that in there. Better Man is this Robbie Williams biopic that has made, I think, $15 million in the whole wide world on a $110 million budget. And that trailer features a singing and dancing monkey. So I think maybe this is a possibility.
That's what the movie is, though.
I guess that's true.
Joker Fale Adieu sold us on a bit more gaga and better singing.
It sold us. Yeah, it deceived us in a good way, though. It sold us.
Civil War made us think the movie was actually about a civil war. It wasn't.
Yeah, this one is a disappointment for sure because the expectations were much higher for that movie.
Deadpool and Wolverine began showing characters after a while. I'm talking specifically about the X-23 reveal. I hated that.
Yeah, that was a movie that they didn't need to show us anything, and we were all going to go see. So that's certainly a nominee here, too.
And then Furiosa did a bad job selling us to go to the theater. It kind of flopped at the theater. Yeah. Mac, I am going to go with my choice is Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm still mad about that.
Worst job selling a movie, deceiving the audience, showed way too much. Yeah, some of these, I mean, Better Man did a terrible job selling us, but there was no way of really selling us on that anyways.
Imagine them not showing the monkey, and then you go to the theater and you're like, there's a fucking monkey in this?
Furiosa is sneaky up there because that movie is borderline great and no one saw it. So that I feel like that fits more the spirit of the award, but because Deadpool and Wolverine,
there is no spirit of any of these awards.
That's the true spirit. Deadpool and Wolverine showing so much of what they did was definitely disappointing.
All right, the trailer failure goes to one of the better movies on the year, Deadpool and Wolverine. Next one up here is the opposite of that, the teaser pleaser, the best trailer or preview. And this could be for a movie that came out this year, as long as the trailer came out last year. That's the main thing that we're talking about here. So Mickey 17 is on there. What an amazing trailer. The movie might not be good. I don't know, but I'm jazzed up right now. The Fall Guy. It showed fun, and the movie was fun. Beetlejuice got me believing again, even if the movie kind of brought me down a little bit after. You have Hitman. That's a very good one. And then also, how do you have Civil War on here when Civil War is in the failure?
Because of what I just talked about when you brought up Civil War 3 minutes ago. Civil War had us thinking, we had a whole ass new age war movie on our hands, and it ended up being a movie about photojournalism. Photojournalism. And so that trailer had me stoked. The actors in it had me stoked. If you rewatch that trailer, you're like, oh, we're getting a modern war movie starring Jesse Plemons.
The hours of Jesse Plemons.
And what we got was this photojournalism journey that featured Jesse Plemons, for 6 minutes. And that was, so the trailer did a great job in fooling us. And that's why I think this might be the winner.
I think Mickey 17, honestly. They have me so excited about a movie that's been delayed and moved like 6 times.
Yeah, but I think we might have given it to Mickey 17 last year.
It can win it back-to-back years.
Let's give it to Civil War for duping the shit out of all of us.
I would put it as a failure then.
No,
that's not the spirit of the awards. You at home can decide.
All right, Civil War and Mickey 17.
The next category up here, I had a tough time. I had a real tough time with this year, and that is the Pirate Award. The movie or show, I think we had show in there one year. Throw show away. There is no show. The movie that succeeded because it was rated R, or the movie that would have been better if it was rated R. The nominees are The Substance. They were able to get real gross. Deadpool and Wolverine was Disney MCU first R-rated movie. The Ungentlemanly Warfare, the Guy Ritchie Nazi movie, they got real violent, and I enjoyed that. You have Watchmen, chapters 1 and 2. Venom, The Last Dance, absolutely could have been a way better movie if it was rated R. Snack Shack, was it rated PG-13?
No, so at the bottom here, with question marks, so borderlines.
Okay.
Snack Shack and Ricky Snicki both rated R, and I think helped both of those movies tremendously.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
When looking at this, I do agree that Venom would have been at least more watchable with an R rating, but then you look at how bad Craven is, and you say, I think Sony would still mess it up.
I know. It's incredible that we ended up getting 3 Venom movies, and who knows, maybe a 4th, and none of them were rated R. And being that Venom is the way he is, and that he's chomping on people's heads, like it pains me that we never even efforted an R rating. In terms of Watchmen chapter 1 and 2, it's the good side.
Yes.
Those were R-rated animated movies, and it really helped that. I really enjoyed those two.
So I'm between The Substance and Deadpool and Wolverine. The Substance was able to get real gross with it, able to show the backs opening, the final third act as well. But Deadpool and Wolverine, if Disney played it safe, it could have just been a butter knife as opposed to the steak knife that it was.
Yeah, I think that movie was going to succeed either way, though. That's why I don't want to necessarily give it to Deadpool and Wolverine, because I think even
I want to give Deadpool and Wolverine
wins.
every award.
Substance, I have a hard time envisioning that movie without the R. I feel like that was destined to be an R. I haven't seen Ungentlemanly Warfare, so you can speak to that. But I do want to give this to Venom because it should have been an R. At least the first two, right? Your universe is failing, Goo. Sony Spider-Man universe is failing. Your first two did okay, but didn't crush it. So you got this third movie to try to save your Sony Spider-Verse, and you still didn't give it an R, and this thing crashes and burns delightfully. So I feel like it should be Venom: The Last Dance.
All right, Venom: The Last Dance gets the award. You made enough of a pitch to me, and we need to keep this moving, so I'm not going to argue with you. The next category up here is That Was This Year? The movies that you look back on and say, wait a second, 2024, are you sure? And the nominees are a movie that came out just in October, and that is Joker: Folie à Deux. One of the first movies on the year, Argyle, a movie that you could have told me came out 5 years ago. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, Inside Out 2, Challengers, Dune Part 2, and Mean Girls.
Yeah, so the two I added to the ones you had already built out here. Mean Girls, I believe, came out in January or February of 2024.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it definitely got lost in the mix, especially after Wicked came out. It was clearly like not at the top of the boards for musicals. Good. I put Dune Part 2 in here as a reaction to the Academy Awards and how it just simply has been getting overlooked all award season, and arguably the best movie of the year with maybe the best direction of the year, with some of the best performances of the year. And did it come out too early in 2024 that it didn't brush close enough to the award cycle that we have known at the end of years? Like, I don't know. It's just justice for Dune 2. Argyle feels like it came out a really, really long time ago. And we talked about it a lot last year, and then we kind of forgot about it. So this could be Argyle.
So I'm going to put a little bit more on Joker Folie à Deux because it came out so recently, yet it still feels like it was years ago. But my number one is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Like, this is a movie that feels like it came out a decade ago. Maybe it's because I've seen so many scenes of it in my house over and over and over again that it feels like it's just always been there. But I can't believe that it just came out last year.
Yeah, the only pushback I'll give you is a lot of us didn't see it until it was on Netflix in the summer. So I saw it probably like 3 months after you did. Argyle, we both saw in the theater, and we were excited to see in the theater. And then it went away because of movies like Madam Web and Craven. We forgot about how bad that movie got. So there's some good nominations for this. Mean Girls, no one talked about the whole year, so that's up there too.
All right, we'll go Argyle. That's fine.
All right.
Argyle, that was this year award. The next award up is the Pantsless Award. Who charmed our pants off this year? Tons of nominees. We have Timothée Chalamet in Dune, Mikey Madison in Anora, Margaret Qualley in The Substance, Channing Tatum in Deadpool and Wolverine, Percy Hines White as Chad in My Old Ass, Goss in The Fall Guy, John Cena for about 30 minutes in Ricky Stenicki, Glenn Powell just in general, Zendaya in Dune Part 2, Ariana Grande in Wicked, Jonathan Bailey in Wicked, and Chris Hemsworth. I wouldn't say charmed our pants off. He's more of a villain, but that's fine. That's more up your alley in Furiosa. And Mac, I think, look, these are all great answers. I think Chad in My Old Ass, played by Percy Hines White, the fact that you got us to buy into that twerp being so likable, I don't know.
So the three I had, you had two of my three. I also think Channing Tatum and Deadpool and Wolverine brings a smile to your face immediately. He really captured the audience. I agree about Percy Hines White as Chad in My Old Ass. He rounded out that movie so well. Just a true.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I bought in.
And not for nothing, the lead actress in there did a great job as well.
Yeah.
I forget her name. We'll mention her in a few awards. I also think Ariana Grande deserves a massive mention here for Wicked, because that movie doesn't work without her. And to your point, your favorite scene in Wicked was the library scene in which Fiyero, played by Jonathan Bailey, charms the pants off of everyone.
I'll speak for me.
I think it's between Tatum and Percy Hines White here, so I'll let you have it.
I'll go Percy Hines White.
All right, I'm good with that. And
Percy
again,
Hines
if you
White.
haven't seen My Old Ass, it is on Prime for free right now. Tremendous movie. I think I have it 7th or 8th on the year, top 10 for sure.
The next category up here is Dameo, that cameo cost what? Best cameo on the year. Spoilers. If you don't want that spoiler, jump ahead an hour. This next category is a real long one. Deadpool and Wolverine, every single character in that movie. Channing Tatum, Chris Evans, Henry Cavill, Wesley Snipes, and Jennifer Gardner. I guess if we're going to pick just a cameo, because I feel like some of these characters are kind of important to the story, Henry Cavill, I think, stands out as the cameo out of those characters.
I guess so, but I would rank them Tatum, Snipes, Cavill, because Tatum and Snipes got such big pops.
3 scenes. He's in like 3 scenes.
I know, but if he never pops up again, which is a possibility, it will still be considered a cameo.
I'm not even sure if that's true. The claymation dad in Beetlejuice, they had to work around not being able to use the original father from the original movie. Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel in Wicked. Danny DeVito in Beetlejuice. DJ Khaled in Bad Boys Ride or Die. Fred Durst in Y2K. Jason Momoa in The Fall Guy. Donna Kelsey and Andy Reid in the Hallmark movie Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story, and then Gronk in The Instigators.
So this is a pretty good category. I would have given it to Channing Tatum, but you do provide a reasonable argument. Cavill is great because it is
I think it's Henry Cavill.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
The claymation dad in Beetlejuice, though, was tremendous. So well done, and like made the movie so much better because we were wondering how they were going to address that leading into it. And I thought that was tremendous. But to your point, he's also in like 6 scenes. So maybe it's not quite a cameo.
Well, the claymation's only in the first scene, though.
Okay. Yeah, true. Chenoweth Menzel, you knew you were probably going to get. DeVito and Beetlejuice was good as well.
I guess my question to you, because I still haven't seen Y2K, how much is Fred Durst in Y2K / how much of a pop did he get when he showed up?
So I saw it I was the only person in the theater. So it was just
with
me.
you, how much of a pop did you give Fred Durst when you saw the movie?
The backwards red hat Fred Durst is always, it just takes you back to a time and
place. Did you
place.
point at your own backwards red hat and you're like, oh my goodness, it's me.
He's in like the final 15 minutes or so of Y2K, and he's good. So it's really one scene, but it's an extended scene. It's pretty good. It feels like this award should go to one of the Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'm going to say Henry Cavill, but credit to Andy Reid and Gronk for not just being the ultimate jocks. So Henry Cavill is the winner of Dameo. That cameo cost what this year? The next category up, we just added it for this year because I saw the movie It Ends With Us. And that is worst facial hair. Worst facial hair in a movie. And the character of Atlas got me thinking of this because he shows up in the third act with a mustache that looks like, you know how, like, with the percentage sign, you have the 2 dots and then, like, the dash in the middle? It looks like the dash in the middle.
Because a real visual learner.
Yeah.
So also nominees for this category every year could be you or I, probably more me. My facial hair is certainly worse than yours.
According to certain people that text you, the answer is me.
To your point, there's like 30 characters in Furiosa that could win this award. So maybe Furiosa in general. Gil, I have a flip it and reverse it here. Dustin Milligan and Hot Frosty needed facial hair. His face was so sharp. It felt like his face was in danger.
Hold up. So I'm now thinking, because we know him with the beard in Schitt's Creek.
But he also got way more shredded after Schitt's Creek.
Does he have much of a chin? Huh? Does he have much of a chin? Does he have a chin?
Super pointy. Super pointy.
But he does have a chin, though.
He does. He does.
I know most people say with the beard that you hide your lack of chin.
Or you hide your 2 chins. But Dustin Milligan needed it, I think, to just soften the edge of his face. Really sharp face.
Like, so do you think that if he went to give Lacey Chabert a kiss in the movie and he missed, he might have sliced her face open with his chin?
Correct.
So you're saying out of safety, out of Lacey Chabert's safety, he should have had a beard?
And maybe it's not in the spirit of the award, Goo, but I had to mention it.
All right, so the winner is Atlas from This Ends With Us, or It Ends With Us, the Blake Lively movie. And moving forward, the award, if we keep on doing it, it'll be called the Atlas Award. The next category up here is Pants Off, Dance Off.
Let me take this one, Gil, because you had sad sap fucking nominees here. We'll get yours out of the way. You had the mountain scene
describe what the Pants Off Dance Off Award is. People at home don't know what it is. Can you explain the spirit of this award?
The best dance sequence of 2024. We got many good nominees on the year. You mentioned the Joker mountain scene, which is decent. Okay, it was all right. The Maui song from Moana, I think, was the best song in there. It was okay. You had Jim Carrey doing stuff in Sonic 3.
Lots of hand stuff.
If you had some music and dancing in there, nice little kids movie there. But Goo, let's get to the good stuff here. Of course, we had Wicked and we had Mean Girls, 2 musicals. Dancing Through Life is that aforementioned Fierro library scene. The choreography and the set design in that scene is fucking amazing. I think that could be the winner. We also had the dance that's really been viral on TikTok these last couple months from the What Is This Feeling song. That's the loathing, unadulterated loathing. Dear Galinda, you are just too good. The whole book stuff in that one's
Okay.
really good from Wicked. Of course, you have Defying Gravity, which is not much dancing, but that whole number was really good, song and dance. From Mean Girls, Goo, I thought there was 3 really good ones. Revenge Party is a great little number. World Burn with Renee Rapp is awesome. And then maybe the best one from the whole movie is Sexy, performed by Avantika at the Halloween party in Mean Girls. But Goo, I just think the image and the moving stacks in Dancing Through Life in Wicked is so cool, so awesome. And that was at the point of the movie too, where things are starting to get kicked up. So I felt like it took the movie to another level. So I truly think the winner should be Dancing Through Life.
I think that's the easy
Wicked.
winner on the air. The Wicked library scene is the winner of the Pantsless
Unadulterated Loathing
Award. Let's move on to the next category. This is the 007 No Time to Die Award, the most deceiving title on the year. The nominees are Sing Sing, not a musical in a year where a lot of movies are musicals. Venom, The Last Dance, is it? Question mark. A Complete Unknown, just call it Bob Dylan the movie. Craven the Hunter, is that the character that's actually being used here? You sure about that? Sure about that's not why? Civil War, is it really about a civil war or is it about people taking pictures? And then Kinds of Kindness is what you added. I guess no one's very kind in that movie, so that's a good point.
Yeah, it's a very confusing title.
I think the easy winner here is Civil War.
I
That
agree.
is such
It's Civil War.
deceiving title.
Tied into what we were talking about in the trailers. Not only did the trailer trick us, the movie title tricked us. And I think Kinds of Kindness is sneaky up there. Sing Sing as well. Here, Sing Sing didn't get nominated for Best Picture, and I still haven't seen it yet. I know I'm gonna love it, and I know it's probably one of the 10 best movies
I've been
of the year.
told that it's been robbed.
Yep. Part of the reason is because of this title. Number one, Sing Sing. People don't realize that it's like it's about a prison. Number two, the release schedule for Sing Sing really fucked it up.
Yes.
People saw screeners 6 months ago and yada yada. But I agree. I think this is Civil War over Sing Sing.
Right. Like if you made a movie that was about Texas and California siding with each other and taking on the country, I would like to know why.
Yeah. I don't want to see pictures.
No. The next category
I don't want to see videos of people taking pictures, I should say.
The next category up here is the CGI Award, given to the worst CGI on the year. We could call this the Flash Award moving forward because it was real bad, but that was on purpose. The category or the nominees are all 3 Sonyverse Spider-Man adjacent movies, Madam Web, Craven the Hunter, Venom the Last Dance. You also have Argyle, a bit of Furiosa, where Furiosa mixes some of the best-looking stuff and some of the worst-looking stuff. And then you have Red One. Mac, I would go with Argyle. Now, while I did like some of the super cheesy, over-the-top action scenes, the CGI in them is not good.
Goo, you and I agreed, and I had forgot about this until I was reviewing this list, that moment in Argyle when she's ice skating.
I love that. I love that part.
There's some really bad CGI in the Sonys, but we were expecting it. That's when that movie got tremendously bad.
No. So here's where you and I differ, is that I had already checked out on the story during that last reveal when we found out who she was. So at that point, I'm like, I don't give a shit what happens in the rest of this movie. So then when you got to the ice skating part, I'm like, all right, sure, fuck it, who cares?
I think this winner is Argyle because of how uneven it is.
I'm saying Argyle, yes.
Yeah.
The answer is Argyle.
By the way, Red One is a massive CGI fest, so there's a number of scenes in there that weren't great.
The next category up here is movies that made you believe. So walking out of the theater, let me give you an example. I might call this the 8 Mile Award.
Hand up here. I have no nominees here because I'm confused as to what this award's for.
I should have put it in the explainer. I should have called it the 8 Mile Award because walking out of 8 Mile as an 8th grader, I said, I could be a rapper. I believe that I could do this.
So this is a movie that inspired you.
Yeah, inspired me. So this year's nominees, Twisters. Walking out, I thought I could be a storm chaser.
This is like the MLK Award. I have a dream. You walked away motivated.
Yes. The Wild Robot. I'm not
Yeah,
even sure why.
yep.
I just believed in life after this. I think that's really
You
what I
just wanted to
believed
be a
in.
really good person after the Wild Robot.
I did. I really enjoyed it. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I believe that monkeys could take over the world.
It redeemed apes in one respect.
I became a little more suspicious of our primate brethren.
The first 3 movies didn't do that for you?
I mean, they all do. I'm going to have it on here every year.
Okay, all right.
The Bike Riders. I believed that I could start a biker gang with you.
Bike Riders did have me feeling like I needed to get in a knife fight. I think Bike Riders, I really, really enjoyed it. I understand why people didn't like it. It did put me in a time and place where I thought, you know what? I need a leather jacket and I need to get in a knife fight real quick.
I mean, in the movie, Hardy starts the biker gang after watching a Marlon Brando movie and just buys a bike. He's like, hey, guys, we're a gang now. I thought I could do that. And then finally, Gladiator 2. I think that I would lose to the monkey, but I could fight the rhino.
That's opposite.
The monkey's got big teeth. It's like a big zombie monkey.
There's no avenue to you killing a rhino. 0.
Just get out of the way. It's big and clumsy.
Throw
it's
sand
dumb.
in its face like it happened in the movie. Goo, you kind of skipped past Twisters here. When you saw the Twisters screening, you were like super excited about living in the flat plains of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's why it's going to win. When I walked out of Twisters, me and my wife just started pointing at clouds. Like, keep an eye on that one. The Cumulus.
Based on the energy of all these movies, I feel like Twisters should win for you. However, there's something about the Bike Riders that makes you want to stab people.
But not only that, the fact that you could easily, if you're in the 1960s, when I guess anything can happen.
Yeah.
You could just start your own gang.
They didn't even know people were killing more than one person until like the 80s. It's incredible.
Half of them didn't even have bikes. I'm going to go Twisters, though.
Okay. That's fair. Because you wanted a cowboy hat. You wanted to tuck your shirt in. And there's the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, also, when I look in the mirror, I see Glenn Powell staring back at me.
You looked into getting some big screws installed in the side of your vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. So the winner of the movie that makes me believe is Twisters.
The winner of the MLK Award is Twisters.
The MLK 8 Mile Award. The next category up is, y'all see that Easter egg?
Y'all see that Easter egg?
The entire movie of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yep.
Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Dorothy. There's a lion in there as well.
Yep.
Garfield's. I didn't sit through most of it, but I'm guessing. Gladiator. There's references to the first Gladiator. Sonic 3, and then Transformers 1.
Yeah, so this probably goes to Deadpool and Wolverine, I guess.
The answer is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Transformers 1 is basically the movie of how Optimus Prime and Megatron split, and there's all sorts of Transformers Easter eggs in there. So that should be up there as well, as is Sonic, because of course it's built around a video game. But yeah. it's Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, that's the easy answer. I really enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine, but I mean, it's Easter eggs and references, but it carries you in a very, very fun way.
Yeah.
The next category up here is, and this is new to this year, and we could probably call it the Dune Bucket Award. It's best popcorn bucket on the year. I kind of just tipped our hand to what might be winning. You have the Nosferatu Coffin, the Dune Bucket, put your cock in it. The Bat Signal Bucket, which is what I bought during the... During the... Is that the funniest line in a very forgettable movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you name the movie right now? I know it off the top of my head.
Paul Rudd, Jennifer Aniston. Wanderlust. I was right there. Yeah.
That movie, if we were doing the podcast back then, could have easily have won the Pirate Award, because it would have been so much better if it was rated R. Also had a great scene in that movie where all 3 Stella boys were in there talking weather and whatnot. So back to this, the Dune Bucket, the Bat Signal Bucket, which is the one that I bought during the 80th anniversary of Batman. I have yet to eat popcorn out of that bucket because I don't want to get popcorn oil on it. You have the Deadpool and Wolverine bucket that is making fun of the Dune bucket. The Gladiator Coliseum, the Beetlejuice Sandworm, and then finally, I think one of the better ones on the year, but because they wouldn't give it to me one day before they were supposed to do it, I'm happy the movie failed. Ghostbusters, A Ghost Trap Bucket.
So there's three ways you can look at this, Goo, right? So the bucket you would most like to keep and display and show and use it as memorabilia,
That's
number one.
Yep.
Number two, the bucket that's actually just good at doing its job that you would like to eat popcorn out of. And of course, number three, the bucket you would like to fuck the most. And so I don't know, maybe the listeners will look at it differently, but the bucket that kicked this whole thing off was the Dune bucket.
You have to give it to the Dune bucket. Yeah. I think the Dune bucket, and by the way, I'm so happy that we're getting back into movies having merch when they're coming out and things that you can collect and do whatever you want with it. Timothée Chalamet said that he keeps his Dune bucket under his bed.
And the Dune bucket having like the little sandworm teeth ribbed for her pleasure.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
Too much.
I think the one that's the easiest to eat popcorn out of would probably be the Gladiator Coliseum, because it's just a big Coliseum you can put popcorn in. The best display is the bat signal, or like I said, when I saw the Ghostbusters trap, I'm like, that's a really good popcorn bucket. I'm like, can I have this? I'll give you money. I'll give you U.S. money. Can I please have this bucket? And they said, I can't give it to you for a day or two. And I said, fuck your movie.
Because they probably thought you were going to resell it. You should be like, I have a media pass. I'm going to appreciate this. It's going to go on the mantle.
I have a son who was obsessed with Ghostbusters at the time. He would have lost his mind.
Yeah.
The answer is the Dune bucket, though.
It is.
It is. So our answer for the Dune Bucket of the Year award goes to Dune.
I'm looking forward to Dune 3 to see how they up the ante with that.
It's got to be a sandworm that looks like a dildo, right? You got to go the other way on it.
Yeah, they went pocket pussy. Now we need a dildo.
Give the people what they really want. A Paul Atreides cock. That's just Timothée Chalamet's cock.
Yeah.
The next category up here is the Sleepy Joe Award. These are the movies that Goo fell asleep to, or a movie that you shouldn't sleep on.
Oh, so let me get this one out of the way before we get to the movies that Goo fell asleep to. My Old Ass is the perfect example for a movie you shouldn't sleep on. Once again, if you haven't seen that, please go watch it. I feel like no one's talking about that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually forgot to read that second half. I only wrote the movies that I fell asleep to, but I just added Snack Shack and My Old Ass.
Snack Shack's a solid one, too. Yeah.
Juror number 2. I fell asleep during that.
That movie feels like it was created in a lab to help people sleep.
Carry On. The one with
the
Jason
Taron
Statham,
Egerton Netflix movie.
Yeah. Yes. Self-Reliance. I did finish it, but it took me a while.
Fuck you. I enjoyed that movie.
It's not that good. Our Little Secret, the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie.
Did they use that song in the movie?
I don't remember. And then finally, yes, it's not a movie, but I fell asleep during 6 of the 9 episodes of Agatha All Along.
Manure.
So since we can't count Agatha because it's not a movie, I would give it to Agatha, by the way, which ended up being fine. But juror number 2.
I haven't seen it because I don't need a nap right now. But when I need a nap tomorrow, I'm tossing on juror number 2.
The next category does include some television shows, and this is the MCU Gotta See This, formerly the MCU, who suffice to say was a lot this year, and formerly the MCU Gotta See This. This year we got Deadpool and Wolverine, X-Men 97, Echo, and Agatha All Along. I'm not really sure what this award is.
Hold up.
Yes.
Before you go any further, Echo should win. That was this year award? Let's wreck on that. Go back 20 minutes.
It's not a movie. If we're just looking at the MCU stuff, I think X-Men 97 was the best thing of 2024.
I thought it might be a battle toss-up between Deadpool and Wolverine and X-Men 97, but I agree, X-Men and 97 superior by a smidge over Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, I have X-Men 97 at 40 hot dogs. I have Deadpool and Wolverine around 35.
I might have.
No, you were on the wrong side of history.
You don't even know that for sure.
Sure about that's not why. Next category up here is the Take a Knee Award, the Holding Pattern Award, the movie that burns the most clock / wastes the most time / is just a placeholder until the sequel. We have here Mufasa, Craven, Moana 2, Inside Out 2. So just in general, Pixar, Disney sequels, A Quiet Place Day 1, and Godzilla times Kong, The New Empire.
So, first of all, I'd like to give credit to Sonic 3 for not falling into this category. It was good enough and advanced that franchise enough that it doesn't qualify for this. This is a tough one. I feel like we gotta rule Craven out. I don't know if it quite should win this. Inside Out 2 is like exactly what you expected it to be, for better or worse. Some people loved it, some people didn't, and that's okay. Moana 2,
I think it's Moana
waste
2.
a lot of time, but it's in part because it was supposed to be a television show.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for it to not fall into what it did. A Quiet Place Day 1 was tremendously boring. Godzilla X Kong was like basically directed by AI.
I hate it.
That it might be that. It might be that, honestly. Like, Moana 2 was better than Godzilla X Kong, so maybe it's Godzilla X Kong.
All right, Godzilla X Kong. That is our Take a Knee award. The next category up here is the I'll Get Around to It award, the movies that we plan to see and still might plan to see that we just haven't gotten around to yet. And the nominees are Blink Twice, A Real Pain, Wolf's Night Bitch, Heretic, Nosferatu, Flow, Sing Sing, Conclave, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, I'm Still Here, and Oddity.
Blink Twice. Which one is that?
That's the Channing Tatum, directed by Kravitz.
Yeah, by Zoe there.
Yeah.
A Real Pain, I actually almost watched last night, but I was a tie boy, so I'm gonna remove that.
Well, where's it available?
Hulu, I believe. That's the Eisenberg and Culkin one, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually
okay. I want to go watch it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take that off because I'm actually looking forward to that. Wolves, I almost watched the other day, but that's a good point for a Clooney Pitt movie for us to not be inspired. That should qualify. Night Bitch is too funny to be on here. Heretic, maybe. Nosferatu, we've been talking about it for 2 months yet. Neither
the
of
answer
us
is
has seen
Nosferatu.
it.
The answer is Nosferatu. We talked about it leading up to the fucking movie for a month, being like, I'm so excited for Nosferatu, and we both still haven't seen it yet.
Flow is, we actually are excited to see it, I think. Sing Sing it's been out. We had a screener 6 months ago, so maybe Sing Sing. And then for the 4 Best Picture noms, at least I haven't gotten to: Conclave, Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, and I'm Still Here. I'll get to those in the next few weeks, so those qualify. Oddity Goo, I heard Dork praising it big time, so that's a movie I've added to the list. I'll get around to it. But this feels like probably Nosferatu, right?
The answer is Nosferatu. While I'm still excited to see it, it's still one that we both made plans to see it, and we just didn't see it.
We just didn't, yeah. And I honestly haven't regretted it much.
The next category up here is the I Did Get Around to It award, a movie that came out, we kind of thought about it, and then we eventually got around to, and we kind of liked it. Like The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Furiosa, A Mad Max Story, A Quiet Place Day 1, The Bike Riders, Trap, and If. I'm between Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare and Furiosa.
This is either Anora or Furiosa. Anora, I was talking about for months.
Anora on there. I'll say Furiosa, though.
Furiosa, I agree. And I didn't see it till like 3 or 4 months after it came out, and I borderline loved it. So I think Furiosa is the perfect example of this.
I was supposed to see it for the screening, and I went to the wrong theater.
Yes, right.
And then I didn't see it.
You were in the wrong city.
Yep, I went to the wrong city. So that is the winner of that. The next category up here has a new name. It is the Cliff Clavin Newman Harvey from Hey Arnold Award. Those are all mailmen. This is the best delivered line, possibly called the Crashmore Award. I don't know. And the categories are, the nominees are, that man is Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
That, of course, was
from
Dakota
Madam Web.
Johnson, I think, said it in Madam Web.
Cassandra Webb said that, yes. Hope the spiders were worth it, Mom. Also Cassandra Webb. Cut the Kung Pao chicken? Also Cassandra Webb. That's the rhino from Craven.
I can't believe we got the rights to all that audio.
Whatever the line is that M. Night Shyamalan says in Trap, where he explains that he is Lady Raven's uncle because he's her dad's brother. Yeah, whatever it is. Like, he explains it, it's like very, like, we know what an uncle is.
Yeah. Goo
And then what are
also
your three?
Ariana DeBose finishing the counting in Craven when she says 3 and shoots the arrow.
Three, motherfucker.
A lot of the stuff Chris Hemsworth says in Furiosa is very funny.
Mhm.
Goo, I know you haven't seen it. This award, let me take this one, as bad as Madam Web is, goes to the plastic surgeon in Amelia Perez during one of the songs, sings from penis to vagina. It's unbelievable. It's first of all one of the worst songs ever created. I know it's supposed to be campy. It encapsulates the ridiculousness of the movie that is Amelia Perez. It's also been going very viral on TikTok because people can't believe that this movie is nominated for all the awards it is with this fucking line in there. So to me,
I know,
it's the plastic surgeon saying from penis to vagina and Amelia Perez.
but the Amazon Ezekiel Sims mother dying, like that's an iconic line.
The Kung Pao chicken at the end.
Well, the Kung Pao chicken is our favorite.
How the spiders are worth it. It's all of Madam Web versus from penis to vagina.
Okay, so I think we go with Madam Web, and then
I think
next
we go
year,
with Amelia Perez.
I think we go Madam Web, and then next year this award is called the Madam Web Award, the Cassandra Web Award.
That's fair, but I'm gonna send you the from penis to vagina when we get off the air, and you're gonna be like, okay, maybe that should be it.
All right, so you guys at home, tell us who the winner of this category is. The next category up here is Needs More Cocks, the movies that did not have enough penis in them. This is a Mac favorite category. If Godzilla X Kong: A New Empire, Hot Frosty, The Substance, Furiosa, Beetlejuice, and Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, I don't know why you're putting a child's movie up here, Goo, you sick fuck.
It'd be funny if the imaginary friends had huge cocks.
In that same vein, I'd really like to see what King Kong's meaty hog looks like. So that's why
that's off. I'm thinking science on that one. And then also with Hot Frosty, like, what if instead of Lacey Chabert putting a scarf over the snowman, she crafted a really big snow hog?
Just so she could fuck him,
Right. So I might go with that. I feel like that would have spiced up the movie just enough.
I got to thinking last night. I was having a fit of the giggles, thinking about the old guy in The Substance. The one nice thing about being young again was like how pure his cock would be. Just more like a cock talk convo in The Substance really would have put it over. I would have liked to see some nude hog in Furiosa. I mean, there's barely any clothes in there. You would have thought a hog would drip out every once in a while. Beetlejuice. I'm curious as to what Beetlejuice's hog might look like. We're 2 movies in. We haven't even gotten an inkling.
There was a lovemaking scene. I will give you that.
And then Ricky Stenicki, just show us Cena's hog.
Do you want to go with science or what would have made the movie better?
What are you leaning here?
Hot Frosty.
All right.
Big snowy, girthy
cock.
cock.
That would have been the talk of the town if there was a meaty hog in a Netflix movie.
Yeah. Like, how did he get it that big? Well, Lacey Chabert was having a little fun before she put the scarf on him.
They show a flashback scene of her crafting the pubes too.
Well, no, but so what if, after she realized that she had the ability to create life through this scarf, and then she found another snowman and she's like, well, I want this one to be bigger.
Or she made it too big to begin with, and then there was, she needs the medium porridge.
And then she just starts making mama bear snowman or baby bear snowman, whatever you want to call it. All right, the next category up here on the flip side of that, let's kick flip, and that is enough cocks. The movies that had enough penis in them, the answer is Challengers. The nominees are Challengers or Nosferatu. We have not seen Nosferatu yet. We know that he is uncircumcised, but I would say Challengers because we get a number of them. And going in, it said nudité on the description, and I knew going in it was going to be a number of hogs.
Yeah, we got. I think we got enough. That's, Nosferatu was maybe the right amount of cocks. I think we got enough cocks in Challengers.
Yeah. Okay. The next category up here is the Pinocchio Award. Too much of one property or genre. Things that need to go away. We have the Sony Spider-Man adjacent movies, Disney Pixar sequels, or legacy sequels. Mac, what are you thinking?
So legacy sequels have been good enough for them to keep on keeping on for Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was good. Twisters was good. You look back to 2 years ago, Maverick was great.
Yeah.
We can't stop Disney Pixar, so it feels like the only thing we can do
Well,
as viewers is to stop Sony.
With Disney Pixar, I would like some original stuff sprinkled in, though. That's what I would say.
I dig that, but I feel like as viewers, and we did with Craven, we just need to take a stand against Sony and stop.
Yeah, the answer is Sony, obviously. The next category up here is the Mr. Magoo Award, the franchise that has the worst sight and the worst foresight. What are we doing out here? I can't see what's happening. We have Madam Web, Bob Dylan the Movie, Joker, Folie à Deux, Moana 2, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, Craven the Hunter, Roadhouse, Kinds of Kindness, Argyle, Amelia Perez, and Civil War.
We could also retitle this the Madam Web Award because
I was actually thinking about that. Madam Web
right?
At the end. She can't see.
Let's see here. The Bob Dylan movie is frustrating because of what they focused on.
We both would have just picked a different time in his life. That's all.
Joker Folie à Deux, I think, deserves this goo because they had Lady Gaga, they had a massively successful first movie, and then they gave us an absolute piece of shit.
So while we didn't like the first movie, they went out of their way to make us dislike the first movie.
And honestly, I think we liked Joker, or at least I liked Folie à Deux more than most, and I didn't like that movie. It's just I get sort of where they were going for, but I don't know why they went down that path when there was like a clear avenue to success there. So that's really frustrating, really, really frustrating. And I'll say the same thing about Amelia Perez and Argyle. Like there was like 60% of those movies are good. The other 40% fucking lampoon those movies. So, and Civil War, like focusing on weird things, but I feel like this is Joker Folie à Deux.
The next category up here, let's Christ air off of this one here, and it's the Davey Eyeball Award, the franchise or movie that had the best sight on what they wanted to do. And we have Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, The Wild Robot, Wicked, The Substance, and My Old Ass. Mac, I am between Dune Part 2, The Wild Robot, and Wicked.
I feel like it's Dune Part 2 or Wicked. So Dune Part 2 gets extra credit because Dune lays the groundwork for that. So that goes into this vision and whatnot. But at the same time, John M. Chu being able to take Wicked and handle it the way he did and get massive praise from everyone. I feel like, and like that man just made himself billions of dollars because of how successful this movie is. I feel like it should go to Wicked. And like, I didn't know shit about Wicked, and now I'm stoked about the second movie. I love that first one. So I feel like this is Wicked and John M. Chu.
I agree. I'll go with Wicked with you on that one as well. The next category up here is Like a Bossy Award. He shoots, he scores. The best movie score or soundtrack on the year. Mike Bossy, of course, famously has the most goals per game, I believe, or the most goals per shot. I don't know what it is.
The leader of the 1980s massive Islanders teams.
Right, but I believe he is all-time in goals per game, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
Like that. We looked it up a few years ago.
Your nominees are Dune Part 2, Hans Zimmer, Challengers, Atticus Ross, and Trent Reznor, Monkey Man, Jed Kurzel, Furiosa, Tom Holkenberg, Late Night with the Devil, Glenn Richards, Honora, the soundtrack. Then you have Wicked, Ricky Stenicki, the Cena parodies, and Y2K. So, Mac, I wouldn't have Wicked on here, although it does have a decent score, and that was nominated for an Academy Award, but those are just part of a musical.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think it deserves to win. Y2K had a lot of timely songs in music, which you would enjoy. The Cena parodies were great, and Ricky Stenicki. The winner of this award is one of two that neither got nominated for the Academy Award here, and that's either Challengers or Dune Part 2. I think it's Hans Zimmer and Dune Part 2.
Yes, I'm going to say this because we are going to respect the legend of Hans Zimmer right here and say that your score is too much like the first one. Eat shit. You're the winner of the Mike Bossy Award.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Of the Like a Bossy Award. What the hell this is called? Congratulations. The next category up here is the opposite of that, the Stephen Halko Award, the man who played in 155 NHL games with 0 goals. And we only have one nominee, and that is Joker Folie à Deux. When the Saints go marching in. Who
Like-
picked the soundtrack? Who picked the
I,
songs for
I
this
don't
movie?
understand how you wrangle in Gaga and then produce scores and music and songs as bad as that movie had.
And I know that I just said one's a
Mind-blowing.
musical, but these were chosen for this movie. It's like
Mind-blowing.
Todd Phillips went to his great grandmother and said, "Hey, what are your favorite songs?"
And she has this whole concept album based around this movie that stinks. It's not good.
So that is the answer. Joker Folie à Deux. The next category up here is
Dun, dun,
Boston, you're my
Dun,
home.
dun, 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 dun.
We have 4 nominees in this category this year. We have Challengers, that was shot in Boston, Norton, and Bedford. Beetlejuice, shot in Melrose. The Instigators, shot in the North End, City Hall Plaza, Quincy, and the Mass Ave Bridge. And it ends with us with a lot of stuff. I'm not reading all of it, but there's much of it in Boston.
Yeah, you put Madam Web on here. Maybe is Madam Web considered? It's in the end with it ends with us.
Oh, whoops! I put it in my thing. Madam Web is also shot in Boston.
Okay, that's unfortunate for us.
What are you gonna do?
So you couldn't really tell with Challengers, to be honest with you. You could tell a little bit with Beetlejuice.
In that super windy scene, you're like, that's Boston.
I haven't seen The Instigators, but that movie is just like another Boston the movie.
That's
type
just Boston the movie.
I'll
yeah.
let you choose this one here. You're more into this.
Well, since I'm so proud of it, Madam Web.
All right, there you go.
Madam Web. Oh, Boston, you're my home.
Yeah, there you go.
The next 2 categories up are just Mac. I'm going to turn my microphone off, and whatever he says, I have no control over.
All right, so we have the 2024 Max Rack Award. Your nominees are Sydney Sweeney as Julia Cornwall from Madam Web, Sydney Sweeney as Sister Cecilia in Immaculate. I wish there was like 5 more Sydney Sweeneys. Margaret Qualley as Sue from The Substance, Demi Moore as Elizabeth from The Substance, Mikey Madison as Aunt Annie in Honora, Emma Stone and Margaret Qualley together in that one scene on the home tape from Kinds of Kindness, Mia Goth as Maxine in Maxine, Mika Abdullah as Brooke from Snack Shack, Dua Lipa from Argyle, Christine Milioti as Sophia Falcone in The Penguin, and Madeline Pryor from X-Men 97. I know
the Goblin Queen?
I know Fryer would give it to Madeline Pryor, and I consider that, but it's too strong of a year to go animated. So Sydney Sweeney should probably deserve this award forever, but she doesn't really get too racky in those 2 movies, for lack of a better term.
Not a good term.
This is either Margaret Qualley in The Substance, but she may have been wearing a prosthetic. So I'm going to give it to Mikey Madison in Honora because I was surprised at how well things were put together. From the outside and from the way we had seen Mikey Madison in her other shit, she didn't strike me as someone who could win this award, so I'm giving it to Mikey Madison, your 2024 Max Rack Award winner. 2024 Max Crack Award, the backside here, Goo, your nominees are
drug use, or
best drug use in a movie. Zendaya as Tashi Donaldson from Challengers, Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness and Agatha All Along, Margaret Qualley once again as Sue the Substance, Demi Moore once again as Elizabeth the Substance, Mikey Madison from Honora, Adria Arjona as Madison in Hitman. She was very attractive.
Ooh.
Dua Lipa in Argyle, Christine Milioti as Sophia Falcone in The Penguin, Madeline Pryor from X-Men 97.
Oh, the Goblin Queen.
Once again, shout out Fryer there. This one was much harder because I feel like there wasn't one total standout, but I'm going to lean Margaret Qualley here as Sue in The Substance. And there's 2 or 3 really intentional shots in that movie showing her flexibility and her working out. So I think well-deserved Max Crack 2024 award winner, Margaret Qualley as Sue from The Substance.
All right, we shall move on. The next category up here is the Sorry Not Sorry Award. The movies that reviewed poorly by critics, but we liked it. Ricky Stenicki. Now, I'm not saying this is a perfect movie, but there is a 30 to 45 minute window of this movie that I think is hilarious and might have been the funniest part of 2024. It got a 47 critics on Roddy T, 44 on Meta. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, the thing I'll throw up against it, a movie that I liked more than Ricky Stenicki and got reviewed about the same, is Y2K, Kyle Mooney's movie that you still haven't seen, but I think you would like a good deal. 43% from critics, 49 on Metacritic. It's not like as good as it maybe could have been or promises with the concept, but it's right up you and I's alley. I liked it more, but I think both are worthy nominees here.
I didn't love, or I didn't even see Y2K yet, but I didn't love Ricky Stenicki, but there was a stretch in there that was really, really funny.
Let's give it to Y2K because I think you're going to like
Okay,
Y2K.
that's fine. The next category up here is the Am I Dumb Award, a movie that reviewed very well, but I didn't care for, a.k.a. the Mr. Magoo Award, which I think we've already given out. The Madam Web Award, I guess, because we're not seeing it. You have Kinds of Kindness, which got a 71%. Godzilla Verse or XCon, A New Empire. Challengers, Civil War, Amelia Perez, Hitman, A Complete Unknown, and Woman of the Year. I like A Complete Unknown more than you, though.
Yeah, so all pretty worthy nominees here. So I just wanted to bring up Amelia Perez. It actually didn't get reviewed like crazy, but because it's getting a billion nominations, it feels like it should be here. Goo, for me, I think this is Hitman. It's in dual 90s on Roddy T's and 82 on Metacritic, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I don't even know if it was good. I just thought it was okay. Couple great scenes, but I thought it was wasted potential. That's what this award sort of is to me. Wasted potential. Woman of the Hour, the Anna Kendrick movie, much of the same. I agree. Complete Unknown. I just wanted to throw a shot at that movie since we just recently talked about it. But what do you have with those first four?
Well, there's only one movie where after I saw it, I sat in my chair and said, am I fucking stupid? And that's Kinds of Kindness.
Yeah, but it didn't crush it. 71%
it didn't crush it,
isn't crushing it.
Like, what am I missing?
It didn't crush it.
This?
I feel like it's not that. I
would say Challengers then.
Yeah, it is kind of Challengers. You're right. I didn't quite get it with Challengers either. All right, Challengers is the winner.
The next category up here is Stop It, It's Already Dead Award. We have the Sony Spider-Man adjacent movies, Joker, Fale Adieu, and Unfrosted, which might have put an end to the comedy. What's it? Well, the fake biography.
Yeah. That whole thing that's been going on for a couple of years. Yeah, whatever the fuck those are called.
Mm-hmm. Corporate dramedies.
There you go. Corporate dramedies. Or Joker, or the Sony Spider-Man adjacent. Well, so
I would say Joker, Fale Adieu. I mean that.
Yeah, but I mean those Sony movies are probably dead because of this year, so I guess it's those.
All right, yeah, sure, fuck it, give it to that. The next category up here is To the Max, the movie that you had to see in theaters, or the best movie on HBO Max right now as we speak. The nominees are Dune Part 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Twisters, Furiosa, the OG Beetlejuice, Good Time, Barbie, RoboCop, Parasite, Lady Bird, Goodfellas, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I, Tonya, Elf, and Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
So everything after 4 is just the best movies on HBO Max right now.
I went through HBO Max. It has a catalog.
The answer to this is Twisters. Without the theater experience, Twisters, it's not going to hit the same way it would at home. I feel like that theater experience definitely props that movie up.
So the answer of To the Max is Twisters. The next category up here is the Fire It Into the Sun Award. Don't go in there after them. It's stinky. Get that corn out of my face. The LVP on the year. Madame Web, Kinds of Kindness, Joker, Frozen Empire, Ghostbusters. Those are two different movies. Craven and Trap. I would say that it's Joker.
I would say that it's Madame Web.
No, I love Madame Web. I still watch Madame Web.
2024 is going to be remembered for those two movies, though, and not for the top. And that's unbelievable that that's the case, because Madame Web especially is a new level of shitbag. But people feel that way about Joker as well, and I don't blame them.
So Joker, I would say, is the LVP.
I think it's Madame Web, because Madame Web is all-time bad.
Head over to X right now and tell us who you think the LVP of 2024 is. The next category up here is You Dropped the Bomb on Me Award.
Baby.
This is either the biggest financial bomb at the box office or the biggest bomb in a movie. So last year, Oppenheimer, I think, won, I assume.
Yeah, I went through the 53 movies I've seen this year, and I couldn't come up with an actual physical bomb. Yeah.
Couldn't find a bomb. We have Megalopolis, which had a budget of 120 million and it made 11.5 worldwide. That's the answer, right?
I don't know.
Probably that one for last.
Keep going. Keep going.
Argyle had a budget of 200 million and made 96 worldwide. Borderlands, budget of 120, made 33 worldwide. The Crow, a budget of 50, made 23 worldwide. Furiosa, budget of 168, made 174 worldwide. Joker, Fale Adieu, between 150 and 200 million dollar budget. I did not get the numbers. I think it made around like 60 or 70.
I think it ended up still making money somehow, but
No, it did not make money.
Okay. All right.
It did not make money. Then you have Better Man on here. That is a 2025 movie, isn't it?
Oh, it came out like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're in the year 2025 of our Lord.
Better Man is the Robbie Williams biopic.
Yeah.
That
2 million domestically, 15.5 worldwide on a budget of 110. Red One made 185 worldwide on a budget of 250 million.
$250 million.
Now, I would say, Mac, so you're leaning towards Better Man, right?
I am.
I think we save this for next year. I think this is more of a 2025 movie.
All right, fair enough. Megalopolis it is.
Megalopolis it is. More like Megaflopolis.
That's why you wanted it.
No one's ever said that before. Fucking mine. It's mine. It's mine. The next category up here is the Magoo Award, the best dynamic duo on the screen, or worst. I don't care. You decide. The nominees are Paul Atreides in Stilgar, Elizabeth Sparkle and Sue, Honora and Igor, Deadpool and Wolverine, older and younger Elliot, Gus Marsh Phillips and Anders Lassen. This is from the Ungentlemanly Warfare movie. AJ and Moose from Snack Shack. Beetlejuice and Lydia. Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. Lee Smith and her camera from Civil War. Cassandra Webb and Pepsi. Cassandra Webb and Basic Human Emotions. Craven and Calypso. Lady Raven and Rachel. Those are the crime-solving duo that took down the Butcher in what the movie is called. Trap
guy.
Madam Webb and Craven the Hunter. They didn't meet. They should have.
No, but that's
Arthur Fleck and Lee Quenzel, Adam Sandler and That Spider, Godzilla and Kong, the dudes fighting over Zendaya in Challengers, Twin Sisters,
Twin Twisters,
and Twins. And then Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Where are you leaning?
As you were reading them, so I feel like it's Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo because of all the media blitz they've been doing as well. But my heart actually says older and younger Elliot from my old ass.
That was a great dynamic, right?
I really, really liked the dynamic between those two.
So I'm between older and younger Elliot and then Cassandra Webb and Pepsi.
Like,
she was really holding up that can, and then at the end of the movie they went to that warehouse with the big Pepsi on there. She used the lettering to kill Ezekiel.
I think Honora and Igor by the end of that movie are a great duo as well because of the parallels. But I think since we both have older and younger Elliot, it goes to those two.
All right, best dynamic duo. There we go. The next category up here is the Dr. Manhattan Award, the movie that gave you blue balls. We have Honora, Dune Part 2, A Complete Unknown, Wicked, The Bike Riders, Mean Girls, Monkey Man, and Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, so I want to hear why you nominated the first two in this category.
I think Honora on purpose gave you blue balls. And this is actually a good thing for it. Right, like it, well, no, like it said, like, what do you think the ending is? So you're like, oh, I want to be told what to think. I want to know what to do. No.
Gotcha.
Like,
I hear. Okay.
How do you interpret
no,
this?
I hear.
Movie?
Now that you've explained that, I think that's fair. That's fair.
And then Dune Part 2, much like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, ends, and you know that you're getting more.
All right. Fair enough. A Complete Unknown because
there's no conflict.
Okay. Yeah. Wicked because of the same of the first two. All right.
Same thing. Part one of the part two.
Down.
Yeah.
I interpreted this differently. I put the Bike Riders because I feel like
what's the spirit of this award?
I don't know. I put the bike ride. The 4 movies I put on here were 4 movies that I felt like were so close to being great, but didn't get there for various reasons. So the Bike Riders, Mean Girls, Monkey Man, and Late Night with the Devil. I kind of want to give this to Monkey Man because like 75% of Monkey Man is fucking awesome, but 25% you're like, this kind of brings the movie down quite a bit. Late Night with the Devil, I didn't like, loved the concept. I didn't love the execution as much as you and the Dork Boys. Mean Girls was close. Bike Riders, like, they spent too much time because they were adapting it off of that book of like the interviewing stuff. I'm torn on this one. What say you?
Honora, but in a good way.
All right. Okay, good. In.
All right, Honora, the Dr. Manhattan Award. The next category up here is the Kirsty Swanson Award, the Lisa Ann Award, the Tory Black Award, the movie with the best finish, the one that made you cream your jeans. The nominees: Late Night with the Devil, The Substance, Monkey Man, Furiosa, A Quiet Place Day One, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Now, I will side with you that Wicked at least was building toward that end, and now you're expecting them to just jump right into the action with part 2.
Final 10 minutes of Wicked are incredible.
Because you could almost say this for Dune Part 2 if the Paul Atreides stuff happened more toward the complete end of the movie as opposed to... So, yeah.
Yeah.
The Substance, though. I think it's The Substance.
So the 3 I was between was Wicked, Monkey Man, and The Substance. The end of Monkey Man is fucking phenomenal as well. Like that final like 30 minutes is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's a legit contender here. The Substance does get really weird. As much as I loved it, it does fit that movie. For me, it's Wicked, though. I love the way where they leave off that movie.
All right, give it a Wicked then. The next category up here is the I Am Your Father Award, the Tyler Durden Award, the Sixth Sense Award, Morty's Mind Blowers, Pants Tent City, Jaw Drop Moment of the Year, The Substance in the third act when she turns into, what is the third Sue?
I forget what they call her.
I forget what the name is, but when she turns into her third form. Nora, the meeting with the goon, the first meeting, you're like, okay, we are taking a completely different direction in this movie. Gladiator 2, spoiler alert, Denzel goes on a murdering spree. Gambit reveal, the Jesse Plemons scene in Civil War. Paul Atreides' transformation in Dune Part 2. Kinds of Kindness orgy out of nowhere. That's part of the movie. The Chad convo in My Old Ass between Aubrey Plaza and Chad. And then when Argyle jumps the shark, we think it jumps the shark at different times, though.
So either way, whatever. I just wanted to put it in there because it clearly jumps the shark. So for me, legit jaw drop moments, the Gambit reveal, and so 3 of them here. The Gambit reveal, the Jesse Plemons scene and how he ends up being a really, really bad guy from Civil War. And then also,
sorry to jump on you, but how he's also just killed immediately.
Yeah. And then also that Chad convo twist. I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it. In My Old Ass is great. It's a great moment, but I feel like this has got to be Gambit, right?
Yeah, I'll give it to Gambit.
And that also, because you get Gambit, you get Blade, you get Jen Garner as Elektra, so that encompasses all that.
But I'll also say this: I don't think Pants Tent City like fits into this because like the Pants Tent City scene of that movie, at least for me, and we knew it was coming. But when Wolverine put the hood on, I'm like, that's not in that movie.
I know.
That's like a dream, like a dream,
like a prayer.
Whatever it is. The next category up here is the Ego Award, the Others Award, the opposite of a jaw drop, the least surprising moment. Spoilers! We have Trap with all of its twists and turns and M. Night Shyamalan ways. Challengers. People were like, oh, that was a great twist at the end where he showed his tail. I'm like, no, when he showed his tail in the first act, you knew that it was going to come back in a very meaningful way at the end.
Very predictable.
Transformers 1, you know that they're going to make a split and everything an Inside Out 2.
Yeah, so I haven't seen Trap, so that might be the winner. Transformers 1, the whole movie is like based upon the relationship between Optimus and Megatron, so you know they're splitting at the end. I think anyone on the planet could have written beat for beat what happens on Inside Out 2. So that's pretty telling as well. But
AI might have done it. Who knows?
It feels like based on the way everyone talks about Trap, that this is probably Trap.
Let's give it a Trap. Although I will say that Challengers, I thought it was super obvious and everyone lost their mind over it.
I agree with you.
Was it that he makes a triangle with his hands or that he taps his chin? I forget what it is, but he has a tell in the first scene or the first couple scenes. The next category up here is the Kim Kardashian Award, the Comeback Player of the Year. We have Demi Moore, Wolverine, Beetlejuice, Lindsay Lohan, and Kristen Milioti, who I don't think she ever left. So I'm going to tell you to take that right off.
Oh, shit. No one's seen her in anything in 4 years, so she clearly is a nominee here.
No, I think the easy answer is Demi Moore, though.
It's not Wolverine because he had a good send-off. It could be Beetlejuice.
No, but he also left for a while. Beetlejuice also left for a while. I also do think that, like, Lindsay Lohan has been doing these smaller movies for a couple years, but this was the first time I said she's ready to do Freakier Friday.
No one has seen Christine Milioti since Palm Springs, so she certainly garners a nomination here. Demi Moore, legit surprising, and did a tremendous job, so it probably is her.
All right, Demi Moore, the Comeback Player of the Year. The next category up here is the Anton Chigurh Award, formerly the Darth Vader Award. Most Memorable Villain. We have Fide Rutha Harkonnen from Dune Part 2, Dementus from Furiosa, Proximus Caesar from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the Zakharov family from Anora, the entire Russian family, Age in the movie The Substance,
a.k.a. Margaret Qualley.
Oh, she's coming for you. Folk festivals. They're asking way too much. The Macronus from Gladiator 2, the Syphilis twins from Gladiator 2, Nazis in Guy Ritchie's We're Gonna Fight Nazis movie, but also in real life, Nazis bad, so they're also in there. The Ghost Boy from Beetlejuice, the Wizard from Wicked, Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni, you decide. Rhino from Kraven the Hunter, Hannah Waddingham from The Fall Guy. I think she's also the bad guy in Garfield. Twisters from Twisters, Kristen Milioti as Sophia Falcone. Doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's a TV show.
So what?
This is a movie award.
You've put Agatha Harkness in here.
I put it in there once for the MCU Gotta See This.
Oh, you put it in there, the category right before that, too.
Because I fell asleep so many times. And then Oz Cobb in The Penguin. I would say, like, I really liked Dementus in Furiosa.
Yep. I think he was my favorite villain. I don't know if that means
I think he's my favorite, yes.
Yeah.
So, like, Austin Butler in Dune Part 2, I thought was also very good.
It's great, yeah.
But also folk festivals. Like, get out of your own ass, right? You let Bob Dylan do whatever Bob Dylan wants to do.
And then also that fucking little dude that's in Gladiator 2 and Kraven the Hunter who played a really bad guy both times. So maybe that little guy?
And I don't know if you guys are following the gossip rag, but, like, what's going on with Blake Lively? Who's the bad guy? I don't know.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going to say Dementus. Dementus.
Right, Dementus. Played by Chris
Dementus.
Hemsworth in Furiosa.
Next category up here is the Hero of the Year Award. And we have Lucius from Gladiator 2, Deadpool, Wolverine, Colt Seaver from The Fall Guy, Noah, the Monkey from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, The Wild Robot, and Furiosa.
I feel like this could be the robot from The Wild Robot, right? Save the whole ass forest.
Yeah. It learns how to love.
And that. Yeah. I feel like
raises a duck. That. Yeah. Fuck it. With The Wild Robot.
There. Bang.
Roz, right?
Roz. There you go. That's the name.
Roz. The next category up here is a very bad one. We're calling it Rookie of the Year, but these people have all been in the business for possibly a decade.
Yes,
we don't know.
But to be fair, the Grammys does this all the time, where they'll do like breakout artists or best new artists.
Sabrina Carpenter, most of the time, had 6 albums before she just put out Espresso.
Most of the time, it's someone that's been around for a decade already, so that's our justification.
So Rookie of the Year, but really just more actors that caught our eyes this year for the first time.
Breakout star.
Mikey Madison, Yura Borisov, Margaret Qualley, the fellas from Snack Shack, Percy Hines White. Why did I put a U in there? Played Chad. Missy Stella. Who's Missy Stella?
She is the co-lead from My Old Ass. That's the
there we go. Thank you. I actually wrote that down. I probably should have written where she was from. And then Cynthia Erivo. And if we're just going by people that caught our eye, I think it's Mikey Madison.
Yeah, I think it's Mikey Madison, and I think it's gonna lead to a ton of big roles for her. It was nice to see Margaret Qualley be like a 1A instead of a tertiary character. Missy Stella, I also think has really nice things coming down the pipeline. Cynthia Erivo, we've been aware of for a while, but I think the whole world is now very aware of. But I think this is definitely Mikey Madison.
Mikey Madison, our breakout star of the year. The next category up here is Life Gives You Plemons. You make Plemonade. And who in their small time on the screen stole your attention and stole the movie for you? I guess we'll save the first person till the end because he's going to win. We have Channing Tatum in Deadpool and Wolverine, Willem Dafoe in Beetlejuice, Raka from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He's the orangutan. Michael Shannon, who also could have this award named after him as well, from the Bike Riders. Johnny Cash in Bob Dylan, the movie. Dennis Quaid in The Substance, and then Kyle Mooney in Y2K. But the answer, the award, will be going to Jesse Plemons in Civil War.
Dennis Quaid is close. Dennis Quaid
isn't too much of the movie, though. He's almost the third star of the movie. He's almost the third star of the movie.
Yeah, I guess you're right. About that. That's fair.
Which I guess you could say the same thing for like Willem Dafoe, but he's like 6th or 7th on the billing. So
Yep. You got to give it to the name.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Jesse Plemons. The next category up here is our most valuable player on the year, the MVP. We have a list of actors. We sometimes have directors in here as well, but we just have, we do have a director, Mac.
Put him at director.
Okay, we have Glenn Powell, Twisters, and Hitman. Timothy Chalamet, Bob Dylan in Dune 2. Austin Butler, Dune 2 and the Bike Riders. Sebastian Stan, 2 movies that I have not seen, but he has gotten award praise for. Zendaya, Challengers and Dune 2. Lupita Nyong'o, Quiet Place, Day 1 and The Wild Robot. Chris Hemsworth, Furiosa and Transformers 1. Willem Dafoe, Nosferatu and Beetlejuice. And then John M. Chu for Wicked.
I feel like Glenn Powell dominated the year, but
he did.
Timothy Chalamet has 2, like Sebastian Stan, 2 award-worthy roles. But then John M. Chu, man, like, that's crazy what he did.
Can I make my pitch for Timothy Chalamet?
Sure, go for it.
Not only did he almost pick all of those college football games, or did he pick all those college football games?
He did very well as the picker.
I would say that he is so good in Dune 2 that he might win the Academy Award for the Bob Dylan movie because of how good he is in both movies. Like, I think alone, if he had just done the Bob Dylan movie, he wouldn't really have a chance to win that. But because of how good he is as Paul Atreides, that's going to help him.
We spent all year talking about Glenn Powell as the MVP of the year, though, which is funny to think about. But it does feel like Chalamet bookended it, right? You know?
Yeah.
And so what's better here, Goo? The bread or the meat of the sandwich of 2024?
What kind of bread?
Glenn Powell's meat or Timothy Chalamet's bread?
We talking about like a nice Francesi, a nice sourdough?
Like a bad bread's going to ruin every sandwich, but so the innards are going to ruin every sandwich too. So but
you could take really good bread and just put peanut butter and jelly in the middle.
And then maybe John M. Chu,
cheese in the middle.
Maybe John Chu made the sandwich, so maybe him as the sandwich maker is the MVP.
I'm going Timothy Chalamet.
This is a tough one. I'm undecided on this one. I'm going to go John Chu just to not choose between Chalamet and Powell.
All right, so head over to X right now. Tell us,
that's a legit poll, though. We'll do John Chu, Powell, Chalamet, or right in there.
That's right. The next category up here, and these are just our Mac and Goo silly awards. The rest, everything else was super serious. Now we're going to get silly.
Bear with us. We got like 10 minutes left, folks. We're almost there.
The movie with the best fun factor on the year. Fun factor. Just out there having fun. Deadpool and Wolverine. The Fall Guy. Twisters. Guy Ritchie's Hunk movie. Anora, Furiosa, and Wicked. Mac, I think we go with The Fall Guy.
Oh, man.
I think if we're looking purely based on just fun.
Right.
Silly goss is where it's at.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was leaning Anora because what makes that movie special is the surprising fun factor. But you're right. Outright fun factor probably is The Fall Guy. Furiosa's up there, though, too. Everyone's having fun in there.
Fun factor of the year 2024, The Fall Guy. The next category up here is Satisfactor, the movie that you found the most satisfactory by the end. We have Dune Part 2, The Substance, Anora, The Wild Robot, Furiosa, My Old Ass, Wicked, and Deadpool and Wolverine. I am looking at, just because of the final scene, I don't want to spoil too much, but the way that Furiosa gets back at Dementis, and really that last half an hour chase scene, Satisfactor, Furiosa.
I was gonna say Wicked for defying gravity, but I think Furiosa deserves some awards, so we'll go Furiosa.
The next category up here is Satisfactor Award, the movies that made you piss tears, made you real sad. I think I only cried once this year at a movie, at least a movie from this year.
Which was?
The Wild Robot. It got me 3 times.
I dig that. I was borderline on that. Honora got close once or twice. Wicked was emotional, maybe not quite as much as the other ones. Goo, My Old Ass got me. That movie is emotional, man.
That's good.
That movie is emotional. That I think it would be My Old Ass for me, but the
I'll give it
Wild
to My
Robot
Old Ass
right there.
Yeah,
too.
that final scene is great. You know what else made me cry this year? It's not a movie from this year. I also didn't cry about the movie. It was my son's reaction to the movie. And that was at the end of Home Alone when Kevin's mother came home. He was so invested in Kevin reuniting with his parents. And when they got home, he's like, they made it.
That's
Now
awesome.
I started crying. I was like,
That's
what the
awesome.
fuck, dude?
'Cause he's starting to grasp stories and characters.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Crazy. The next category up here is Boreometer, the movies that you were the most bored while watching this year, or the most percentage of boringness in the movie. Joker, Folly Ado, Kinds of Kindness, Garfield, Godzilla, Times, Kong, A New Empire, Kraven the Hunter, A Complete Unknown, Challengers, and Spachemin. And I would say that for being, I think, close to a 3-hour movie, although I didn't mind this, when I say I didn't mind, I watched the second part of Kinds of Kindness, and I'm like, okay, this isn't bad.
Kinds of Kindness is more confusing than it is boring.
Okay. All right, fine.
So I would
fine.
rule that out. Godzilla Kong was pretty boring. Kraven was also kind of confusing. Joker Folly Do was almost like watching a car crash, though. So it wasn't all that boring.
I
It was like
I almost
interesting.
left 3 times. I
Fair
almost left
enough.
the theater.
A Complete Unknown, not on the levels of these ones. Challengers was pretty boring, Gil. Not gonna
I
lie.
thought it was pretty boring too.
Spaceman for
Spachemin.
me was the most boring movie I saw
Okay.
this year. It is just conceptually it's boring. It's like almost meant to be boring, and you're supposed to just buy in. To me, it's Spachemin.
All right, the next category up here is Halloween, the movie that has waned the most over time. You have lost the most amount of interest since seeing it. We have Hitman, A Complete Unknown, Beetlejuice, Moana 2, Inside Out 2, Amelia Perez, Mean Girls, and Ricky Stenicki. For me, I think it's Beetlejuice.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Amelia Perez for me, and this is a real bummer for me because I watched that movie after it garnered all those nominations at the Globes, and I watched it and I was like, okay, I understand somewhat what people are talking about here. This has some things that might make it important, but now that they're pouring on award support for it, it's really making me not like the movie for outside reasons. And that's a real bummer. And I don't even want people to watch it because I don't even want people to have an opinion on it. So that's where I'm at with Amelia Perez.
All right. Give it to that then. The Halloween is Amelia Perez. The next category up here is the 40 Dogger Award. I only have one movie that got to 40 hot dogs for me, and that was Dune Part 2.
I only have one, and it's Nora. Dune Part 2, I have at 39. I think you can make arguments for a couple others on the year. I think you can make an argument for Wicked. It's not there for me, but if that's up your alley, Wicked's a 40 dog movie, right? Like, I like musicals, but there are theater nerds that are gonna like Wicked's an easy 40 dogger, so I get that.
The next category up here is the Will Be Back Award, the movie that teases a sequel or more to come, but we know that there's not gonna have anything happen. And we have all of the Sonyverse movies where Madam Web teased her Spider People team, and Venom the Last Dance showed more symbiotes, and Kraven the Hunter is like, please give me more. I have a vest and an 8-pack.
Yeah, this is just, I guess we'll have to call this the Sony Award going forward, the Sony Spider-Verse Award.
Well, the Will Be Back Award is named after, from the movie Mac and Me, where after him and his family become U.S. citizens, they are driving away in a convertible, and Mac blows a giant bubble that says, "We'll be back."
The whole
Guess
time
what happened?
I'm
Never came back.
you keep saying that, I'm thinking about what's his face, Jonathan whatever in Hamilton. You'll be back. Da 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 da.
I don't know.
It's a great movie.
So the Sony Award, I think it's Madam Web, because they were really teasing, we're going to have these Spider-Women movies.
Yeah, that's true. Madam Web's the winner.
The next category up here is the It's My Money and I Need It Now Award. The movies, our most anticipated movies of 2025. I'll tell you to go and watch our episode that came out a couple weeks ago.
Hugh, can I add an addendum to that episode, which I realized the other day?
Yeah, go ahead.
We both forgot about the Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson A24 movie.
You're right. Yes.
So that should have been in our list. So go listen to that episode.
The Unicorn didn't have that.
Yeah.
And then finally, But Wait, There's More Award, the best post-credit scene on the year. We have the Chris Evans death scene from Deadpool, where he said all back of what Deadpool said. Then we have, did anything happen in Sonic? I didn't see Sonic.
Yep. They tease yet another Sonic universe character, and it's much like the post-credit in the second one. So there's decent one, and both those movies have been pretty good. So maybe it's that.
Oh, I forgot. In Venom, they showed Null being like, I'll do it myself.
That's right. His Thanos moment.
And then finally, The Wild Robot, where Roz is back.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
I think the easy one, the Chris Evans scene, is hilarious.
It is. It's great. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. So that is our answer. Hey, guys, head over to social media, or you can email us. Matt, guess how many emails I have right now?
5,223.
I actually went and I marked all of mine as read after I accidentally marked all 5,000 as flagged. So now I have 5,000 flagged emails that have now been marked as read. I have 1,000 right now, though.
Oh my God, Goo. What kind of lists are you on? You got to take yourself off some goddamn spam lists.
So head over there. You can email us, macandgoo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Let us know, or comment in the YouTube section.
I'm most interested in who your 2024 MVP is. So again, our nominees were Glenn Powell, Timothy Chalamet, and John Chu. And then the fourth options, you're right in there. Let us know.
Let's get into MacSack.
And MacSack could be anything. It could be a boat. And this week, it is just a quick heads up that we have our live draft date for the 2025 movie auction draft with the hashtag Dork Podcast. We'll be going live Sunday night.
Are you going to do it live?
We always do it live.
Okay. All right.
We let the people chime in and mock people's choices and dog amounts. Everyone gets 100 hot dogs. It is on Groundhog Day, February 2nd. Join us on that Sunday night.
We got the week off between the football championship games and the Super Bowl. It'll be a good primer for movies for 2025. We're sneaking it in before Captain America, which I'm happy about. So we're looking forward to that. It's always a great episode.
And then we'll release the audio during the week. Mac, where can the people find us?
You can find us on Twitter and on Instagram at Mac and Goo Podcast. Every other platform, we are Mac &Goo. It's Mac, just 7 Goo. That includes Facebook, Stitcher, TuneIn, Cashbox, Spreaker, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify, but more importantly, we're on Apple Podcasts. Get on there, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars. If you do that, we'll get you a free Mac and Goo t-shirt from the folks over at Watertown Sportswear. Watertown Sportswear is on 34 Mount Auburn Street in Watertown. WatertownSportswear.com, expert screen printing and embroidery.
tpublic.com. So check us out. The next couple of weeks, we'll have more stuff. Tuesdays are Goose Days. I abuse kangaroos. Tim Burton.
Bye.
Please flip the cassette over to side B to continue the adventure.
Now it's time for girls jumping on trampolines.